Hey everyone, Neil here from Post to Post. Thanks for joining me today. I thought we'd look back on the last 10 years in the NHL from 2013 to 2023, but just look at the regular season and try to figure out who was the most successful team on average in the last 10 years in the NHL. So from 2013 to 2023. Now, I have excluded two teams, the Seattle Kraken and the Vegas Golden Knights, because both those teams have not existed for the past 10 years. Clearly, Vegas is older than Seattle, but still, they don't go back 10 years. So those two teams are gone. So we're only looking at 30 teams here, and I've got the entire ranking. And from there, I want to kind of look at what was the most successful team. And what I mean by that is, number one, looking at the entire ranking, but then looking to see who actually went on in the playoffs and did the best. It's an interesting list. So let's bring it up, actually. I'm just going to bring up the entire thing. So this is the ranking. At the bottom, you've got Arizona, Ottawa, Vancouver, and Edmonton. Three of those make sense to me. I was really surprised to see Edmonton that low. Now, I know that recently Edmonton has been a lot better than they were 10 years ago, but still, I was a little shocked to see them that low. Also, New Jersey felt a little bit low to me, and Buffalo felt a little bit high. I would have expected them to be lower. Florida Panthers, a little bit low for me as well. New York Islanders, I would have expected to be higher, actually. Columbus Blue Jackets, I would have expected to be maybe around there, maybe a little bit lower. Carolina Hurricanes, absolutely would have expected to be higher. That was a shock. Detroit Red Wings, it's a tricky one, because up until 2017, they were awesome. And then things started to come down from there. So I think maybe it's a little bit high, but it's still in the range I was expecting. The LA Kings shocked me a little bit. They were a little bit lower than I was expecting. The Montreal Canadiens were a little bit higher than I was expecting. Dallas Stars were a little bit lower. And again, I need to reiterate, this is only on seasonal success or seasonal average. So taking every single season from the last 10 years, or I guess technically 11 years, and ranking them based on the average of who had the best season. So Dallas Stars, I would have expected to be higher. Philadelphia Flyers, way too high in my opinion. I can't believe that they were that high. Colorado Avalanche, there was that weird period where they were terrible for like 4 years, I think maybe, of these 10 years or 11 years. So, or 11 seasons rather, not 11 years. So a little conflicted there. Minnesota Wild is exactly where I was expecting them. Basically a bubble team. Toronto Maple Leafs, maybe a little bit low. Calgary Flames a little higher than I was expecting. Winnipeg Jets higher than I was expecting. Rangers higher than I was expecting. San Jose Sharks higher than I was expecting, although they've really only been not great for the last 2 years. Anaheim was higher than I was expecting as well. Nashville higher than I was expecting. Blackhawks, not so much. They were so dominant for so long. Pittsburgh is exactly where I was expecting. St. Louis as well. Washington as well. Boston definitely, and Tampa obviously. So there's some surprises in here, but a lot of predictable ones as well. Now I want to bring up another column here to the right, which is going to show which teams actually made the finals. So Florida, LA, Montreal, Dallas, Colorado, the Rangers, the Sharks, Nashville, Chicago, Penguins, Bruins, Capitals, Blues, and Lightning. The only team that was in the top 10 of best seasonal success that did not make the finals, Anaheim. From there, it was the Jets, Flames, Maple Leafs, and Wild, and then on, basically. Things change a little bit if you go back at least just like 1 year in terms of like recent cup appearances, I guess, actually, because I think the previous year beyond that, the Devils would have been on this list, but either way. Now that we've seen the finals, what team made the finals, in brackets I have the Stanley Cup. So Tampa Bay with 2, Washington with 1, St. Louis with 1, Pittsburgh with 2, Chicago with 2, Avalanche with 1, and LA with 1. And if you go back 1 year, LA's got another one, but again, it's an extra year that we're not counting. And then Vegas isn't on this list, obviously. So you get a really good image of the trend of the team in the last 10 years. So Tampa Bay is clearly the best team in the last 10 years. Boston is right up there, even though they have got no cups. Washington, very consistent in the regular season as well. They're starting to dip. And Pittsburgh, obviously very, very dominant. Chicago Blackhawks as well. But teams like LA, down in 19th position, and it would have been worse if we included the year before that, because they won the cup in 2012. They are probably the best performing worst team on this list, if that makes sense. They've got 1 cup. They came 19th. They made it to the finals. So impressive there from the Kings. The Canadiens made the finals. I mean, they could have made it in 2014, but that doesn't count, obviously. So the 2020 season for the Montreal Canadiens, or 2021 rather, for the Canadiens, they made the finals, but that was kind of a fluke in a way, a little bit. So odd to see them make the finals. Dallas, man, Dallas. So frustrating, but it just gives you a really good global or broad impression of the last 10 years for teams. Like Arizona, they've been making some good strides, but still, if you consider their entire history, not even just the past 10 years, obviously there's some frustrations there. Ottawa Senators, they did make it to the conference finals in 2017, I believe it was. Vancouver Canucks, lots of frustrations there. Edmonton's really coming alive. The Devils, if we were to do the next 10 years, if we did this video in 10 years, basically, the Devils are not going to be 26th. They're going to be like 13th, probably. So they're going to go up this list in the future. Buffalo Sabres are probably going to go up this list as well. Florida Panthers will go up this list. So there's going to be some change, obviously, in the next 10 years. But looking at this list and thinking about your favorite team, were they higher or lower than you expected? I would love to hear your comments down below in the comment section. For me, I'm a Canadiens fan. I know I'm wearing Chicago here. I switch up my jersey for every video, but I'm a Canadiens fan, and that's probably a little bit higher than I was expecting them to be, but not too far off. I would maybe put them like 22nd or 23rd, but so they're not that far off. But still, yeah, let me know down below in the comment section where you think your team would have placed in here, and if it was a surprise now that you've seen it. Would love to hear your opinions down below. Hope you guys are having a great day. If you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button for more videos like this. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button, and I'll talk to you guys real soon in the future. Adios.